So in this video, I'm going to kind of compare and contrast Gnosticism and Kabbalah and how these systems are then used to try to implement changes in reality. And I want to take a little aside here at the beginning and talk about this anecdote from the Renaissance, where there was a guy who had his severe injury predicted by an astrologer by drawing up his chart. And we think of this today as being, oh, that's such evidence, that's proof of like astrology being useful at one point in history. But actually, we don't have enough background information on that anecdote. We don't know how many horse carts the astrologer owned or had access to. We don't know who the astrologer might have been paying off to run over people with a horse cart. So just keep these things in the back of your mind. Anytime we're talking about any kind of secret society, there's always the potential for these kind of abuses. I'm not saying that's always what's happening. I'm just saying that, like, sometimes people are keeping things secret and closed off for a reason. So, Gnosticism and Kabbalah are not the same thing, but they gestated together in the same regions. There was a lot, and obviously, like, shout out to Esoterica. If you want, like, genuine historical background on these things, I recommend watching Esoterica. And especially the video about the amulet bowls, you get a much better understanding of how concepts throughout that Middle Eastern region were being transferred between cultures and religions. So that gives a much better background on that aspect of it. They share many core concepts, and they both suffer from some of the same fallacies. So one of the things that they share is the idea of a fracturing taking place, causing this world to be imperfect. There's the use of mystical understanding to control God's power. And then the third thing, which is the fallacies, is there are lacunae that are disguised through the symbolic nature of the information and how it's presented. That it seems like gaps are filled in when the gaps are not actually filled in. Like, I'm connecting 2 points. You're not connecting anything. I'm connecting them. So when you look at the tree of life, it appears like an entire concept, but in fact, it's just one method that we mortals have attempted to use to describe something which is not containable. In the Gnostic texts, there's a lot of incompletion. A lot of the papyruses have been destroyed, and a lot of them have, crumbling edges, and so the texts themselves are not complete. And therefore, the concept that the information you're receiving is imperfect is baked into the way in which you're receiving it. In both Gnosticism and Kabbalah, there are multiple schools of thought, some of which have been standardized over long periods of time, which is what is most presented in the modern era, and it creates a bias toward whatever standardization is available at your local occult store. So, taking something that is not real and making it real. We have here my diagram. Oh, I don't know if anybody could see that. Yeah, okay. So we have reality down here at the bottom, And then we have the desired outcome at the top, and you have the little ladder in between. And you can even imagine that the tree of life is what is being used to represent that ladder. Usually the latter is achieved by using hard work in combination with prayer or magical intention to create your desired outcome. This process is organic and has a low outcome of creating havoc or harm because the outcome was not totally divorced from reality. Unfortunately, some people are undiagnosed psychotic. They experience severe delusion, delusions of grandeur, shared delusion, whatever the case may be. Reality has already been discarded, and thus the latter has to be made up out of lies. This creates a schism, and everything becomes highly chaotic. Just like when the popular girl at your high school came up with that vicious rumor right before prom, and it split up you and your crush.